2 minutes.
Yay!
Let's do this. There's going to be like an intro song, and then Darren will do the intro. Well, thing. Voiceover.
I'm like sweating.
Why? Hopefully some of your friends will call in. We'll see.
Yeah.
Darren, say the number really slowly.
The number really slowly.
If it's playing the music, I can't hear it. FYI.
Yeah, I mean,
Jen, how are you?
Darren, happy Tuesday. What's going on?
Tuesday, July 20th. And this time you did not hear the sound, right? For the opening.
Yeah, what happened? What'd you do wrong?
Well, last time you said you heard it twice. There was an echo. So This time I turned one thing off thinking you would hear only one piece of this sound. And you didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear either one. So it was like a cold intro into it. It's fine.
Oh, brother. Anyway, so you want to introduce our guest?
Yes, we have I'm so excited to introduce to you my friend and our guest for tonight. Her name is Sindy. Hi, Sindy.
hi everyone. How are you?
Awesome. We're going to be talking to Sindy for the first half of the show. I thought we would first start by introducing you and kind of what you do. I wanted to say, first of all, I've known Sindy, I think like a little bit over a year. We both live in the same town in Jersey, and we met at a women's group that we have in the town. And after the get together, we went out and danced, and I was like, "This is my kind of."
Danced all night.
Yeah, we danced and drank, and I was like, "Yes, this is it."
You are such a party girl. Both of you have apparently party girls.
Yes, you only live once. Come on.
I'm just a nerd. I'm the balance of this group.
Right. So welcome, Sindy. How you been?
Good. I am so refreshed. I just came back from Mexico last week.
Oh my God. I'm so jealous.
So it's part of what we want to hear about your Mexico trip.
We were like in storms and flooding, and she was in Mexico drinking margaritas on the beach. No fair.
And when Jen went to Mexico, she said they violated every rule in the book for what do they call it? Safety, COVID safety.
Yeah. There's no protocol.
I'm curious what Cindy's experience was.
Yes. So when did you go? You got back on Tuesday, right? Or last week?
Yeah. And so just a little background for anyone who's listening. I'm currently going through divorce. I separated back at the beginning of the year. And this trip was supposed to be like, I'm going to go. Can I curse on this?
Yes.
I'm going to go. I'm going to like fuck all of Mexico.
Wow.
Do like random guys. I'm going to suck dick.
Holy crap.
I'm going to get over everything that I need to get over. And it turned into such a different trip.
Oh,
I'm so grateful. So this is what happened.
Oh boy.
I mean, we hit a few bumps in the road. I traveled with my friend, who I've known over 13 years. And she was the best travel buddy ever. thank goodness, because I mean, our plane was delayed a few hours. So of course we started drinking in the airport.
Yeah. Was it delayed because of the storms or was it just because of Newark? Oh, okay.
It was a sunny day, and the moment we were dropped off at the airport, it just started like downpouring. So of course, our flight was delayed. We almost missed our flight because we were at the bar drinking. Get back
in there, done that,
and everyone's gone, and we were like, "Oh shit, where is everyone?" And the lady's like, "Oh man, we're about to call you. We're closing the gate. Get on."
Oh my god!
Class 2. So we're getting on the plane, and it started off like on the wrong foot because as soon as we got on, we're like, act normal. No one knows we're drunk.
Yeah, that always works.
Tripping over.
It was like terrible. The flight attendant wasn't nice to us.
Did you guys have to wear a mask the whole flight still? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we get to Mexico.
What city?
We landed in Cancun. And the Thompson Hotel sent a beautiful limo to pick us up. Yeah, we were like so pleasantly surprised. But when we arrived in Playa del Carmen, we noticed like this awful smell. And we're like, what is that?
Did you fart?
and they're like, oh, we have a seaweed problem.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. We don't know what that means, but okay. So the next morning, I'm opening up the curtains and I'm like, good morning, Mexico.
And it hits you.
There was like a wall of brown seaweed, like all over the beaches. It was.
Was this, so this was in near Cancun or in Cancun?
This was in Playa del Carmen, which is about 40 minutes from Cancun.
And is that a common problem all around Mexico or just there?
So apparently the seaweed is all the way from Cancun all the way down the Riviera Maya. Like,
really?
Like hundreds of miles.
Oh my.
Wow. I always thought that Mexico had the beautiful white sands and turquoise water.
Apparently this year is the worst year, of course.
Of course.
Is this part of global warming?
Not sure. But is that even real? I'm just kidding.
Some say it isn't. So who do you believe?
Right.
So my friend was like, no, fuck this. We paid to come here. We're going to find out where to go. So she's like, tell me where to go where there's
the
no
pool.
And they're like, well, Cozumel. And we're like, oh, perfect. So we jumped on the ferry and we went to Cozumel. We were like, I don't care. Let's pack and let's go and just whatever 5-star resort they have. So that's when everything changed because Playa del Carmen is party central. There's like clubs everywhere. But now we were across the water in really not a party scene. And it turned out to be like the best vacation ever because
wow.
Relax. I was able to think and really, like try to figure out what I'm doing. With
such a letdown. So you didn't do all the hundreds of men that you were going to do. Wait, let's rewind and tell that story again. No, just kidding.
So we ended up at the Intercontinental Presidente.
So you guys, you canceled your reservations that you had at the hotel at the Playa del Carmen just because of the seaweed situation?
Right. And we were extra upset because they didn't tell us. We upgraded from the main house that's away from the beach.
Sorry, that's my dogs.
No, but they were charging us more. And we were like, come on, guys, you didn't tell us.
What?
It isn't even available. So they were actually very nice and accommodating. We did go back to them the last night just to be closer to the airport. And actually their main house, if you ever have a chance, is so sexy. And it's an only adults hotel.
What is the name of the hotel in Playa del Carmen?
The Thompson.
The Thompson.
Yeah, beautiful.
They have like adults only is the way to go if you go to Mexico.
And that's on Cozumel or?
That is in Playa del Carmen. That's where we went to the first.
Oh, okay.
That's Seaweed Central.
Yeah. But apparently it clears up after the summer every year. So
so it's a seasonal flushing of the ocean or whatever.
So I'm supposed to have a Mexican Riviera cruise in November. I hope I don't run into that. But then again,
where are you going again? Which town?
I can't pronounce it, Jen. You gave me a hard time for that the last time.
Yeah.
Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, man.
Is that right?
Oh, God. No. Vallarta. I'm not
the
even.
Mexican Riviera.
I can't.
I'll just say PV. That's where I'm going.
Like an STD.
Yeah, I'm hoping it won't be STD. They always have penicillin for that. So, hey.
So you went with, how many were on your trip? You and your friend, or were there more people?
Me and my friend. And I mean, it ended up being like a soul searching. She had just had like an argument with her boyfriend. So, you know, it was amazing.
She could have had some serious revenge in Playa del Carmen, but instead it was reflection in Cozumel.
Yeah, so we get to the Intercontinental and we're looking around and we're like, okay, I don't think this is a party scene. A lot of like honeymooners.
Old people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there were old people. Yeah.
Oh man. That's always a sign. It's like whenever it's like
there are old people from Palm Springs. Inside joke.
Wait, define old. What age is old?
He was 50, but he looked like he was 90.
Oh my God, I'm old. I admit it.
Oh my God. Yeah,
I'm so sad. Enjoy your youth while you haven't.
Yeah.
So after you had this calm, relaxing, thoughtful, thought-provoking vacation,
which is so unlike Sindy in our experiences.
Do you feel like you have to go to another place now to have the original vacation you were thinking about, or you're out of that now?
Well, actually, we went back to Playa del Carmen.
And she had that there in the second half.
Whatever happens in Mexico stays in Mexico.
Oh,
we definitely had fun. There was, we had fun.
Guys involved.
You were like every man's dream, I think.
We definitely made up for it.
So what were some of the things you thought about, or did you come to any realizations in Cozumel?
Yes. Many. Write a book. But I think one of the things that I realized is definitely, I think as human beings, sometimes we try to find ways to cope that are not as healthy. For example, trying to sleep with everybody. That's probably not the best thing. But I definitely realized that like I'm happy with myself and with my friends and my family, and that's really all I need right now. I don't really need anything else. And that was amazing to realize that I have friends who love me, and I mean, the people texting me, checking on me, are you okay? How did you land? It's just like so heartwarming. And I'm like, wow, I really have like an awesome support system. And I have children who I left back at home, and my friends, my neighbors, my family members, they were all checking on them and making sure they were okay. So that's
really awesome.
How old are your kids?
My
oldest will be 21.
Oh, wow.
She's a rock star.
She's beautiful too.
She'll be a junior at Penn State.
I thought you were going to say maybe 16.
And then my second one's 19.
Okay.
15-year-old, and then my 6-year-old.
Wow, you have a 6-year-old. Jeez.
But she's like my whole heart. Everyone's happiness here. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's nice to have the family and friend connection. And I find that as I get older, a lot of my friends have dropped dead of heart attacks and
oh my God,
whatever else. Like, oh my God, because I should be happy I'm still alive.
Sindy is actually a nurse, so she could revive you.
She's seen it all, I'm sure.
If Believe me, you will live. If you're with me, you will live 100%.
What kind of nurse are you? Like, are you in the ER? Or are you with patient? Like, what do you do?
I am currently an administrator for a local hospital in New Jersey, but a major hospital, a magnet hospital. But I was a cardiac nurse before.
Oh,
Yeah, I was in a cardiac thoracic step down unit. And after that, I went into logistics and administration.
so you have career goals, like you want to be in management.
I want to make sure that my fellow nurses are okay. And that's really like a passion of mine. And I make sure that when I work, everyone has what they need, and they are as equipped as possible to give the best care.
That's good.
What I
that is good. So one of the things that Sindy and I were talking about when we were hanging out a couple weeks back was Manuel is going to be going to Spain in a few weeks unless they close down.
Oh, that's right. I think you brought this up on the last show.
Yeah. So
this sounds like trouble.
Well, and one of the things that we had talked about on a past show with one of the creators was the sex toys. Remember? And we were talking about different types of sex toys and all this stuff.
And how you can hook them up to your mobile devices and whatnot. I don't remember if she told us. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. So Sindy was telling me she has her favorite one.
Wow. And you want to share it on video. Wait, are we going to get live demonstrations or not?
No, it was that kind of show. I would have been prepared wearing my
Yeah. So I thought it was fascinating because I, for some reason, missed the point in the part in our past show where, the sex toy could be controlled by your partner remotely.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about that. One, how'd you find out about it? And what are your recommendations? Maybe for me, I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot to bring it down. So as we all know, it's 2021. So first of all, batteries and your batteries running out from your vibrators, that's old news. Now all the vibrators come with a USB cable. They're all chargeable. And let me tell you, they last a long time.
Longer than I do.
That charge is there for like weeks. I don't even know when's the last time that I charged anything. But, so yeah, definitely will not affect your light bill if that's what you're
light bill, yes.
But yeah, so there's this one toy specifically that I definitely recommend for couples who are like far away from each other. I have a lot of friends whose husbands travel for work and now they're traveling again. It's called We Vibe. WEVIBE, and it's amazing. It has like an insertable piece, and then it has an exterior piece. It literally looks like a U, and the inside vibrates, the exterior vibrates.
Vern's getting grossed out. He's like, I need something.
Not at all. I'm actually thinking about my mother because I know that my. Wait, let me explain this. Not like that.
Oh my God.
No. Here's the story. So my mother is 80 years old, and my father's 80 years old. My father is in a home, and my mom lives with my sister. And they used to have an active sex life, and I think my mother misses that. And you can still be sexual and be an 80-year-old woman, I believe. Yes. And I've told her jokingly to sort of prep her for what I wanted to do. I said, I'm gonna send you a vibrator, and she always says, "You are nuts. I don't want that."
Why?
I think I want to send her one because I think she might use it and feel something that she hasn't felt for a while. Is that weird for a son to want to do that for his mother?
That's very kind of you.
Thank you. Wow.
Mom, you look like you need to come.
Exactly. You need a little something, something. I think you're under duress and you need to release it.
Right. But her generation, I think they were a little bit more conservative, and
Yes,
it's a little
that's
bit more
true.
taboo with sex toys and pleasuring yourself. So maybe
Maybe it's not a
Well,
good
open up
idea.
her
Is that what you're
mind.
telling me?
no, maybe she'll accidentally sit on it and like it. I don't know.
I just want to clear the air that I'm never thought of my mother in a son and mother sexual thing. No, thank you very much.
I just like it makes me think of my mom.
Oh my! I think I'll edit that one out.
No, it was good. It was good. It would have been weird if you were like, and then I can like control it. That would be weird.
No.
No.
But yeah, so this We Vibe comes with an app, and your partner can control it from all the way across the world. And I guess it became popular during COVID when couples were separated. And I am excited to find my new other half one day.
To control it.
Wait, Jenna's on top right now, I think.
Right. Well, I'm wondering, like, okay, so the guy, let's use a real example. So Manuel is in Spain controlling the app, I guess, right?
Manuel is going away.
Yes. But it's like, so what he just has his hand, or what is his pleasure instrument?
Well, the app actually allows you to FaceTime at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, so he can actually watch you.
Oh, that's kind of hot, actually.
He can do whatever he wants to do, and
Oh, interesting.
But how many other people will be watching at the same time?
Yeah, imagine we have that.
You think it's only you and Manuel? No.
So, Darren, do you have sex toys?
I do.
You do? What do you use?
I don't use them on myself. I use them on the young men that I try and get to make myself feel better because I'm so old.
And this is what is, so fascinating, is just the dynamics of like gay sex and like how you use toys. It's very interesting to me. I don't know, because I don't do it. So I'm not sure how it works.
Jen, you can always try.
I mean, with a strap on, or how does that work?
Wait a minute.
He's getting a gift next week.
From
What's
you?
that?
Yeah.
Ah. Is Manuel going to get the other end of this?
Yes.
So Jen said that during this trip when Manuel is away, that she would go to a gay bar because she's never been to one.
I've never been to a gay bar.
I think she wants to see if she's going to be hit on.
No, I want to see the way people socialize in the gay bar, because I know the ins and outs of all other kinds of bars. I don't know the rules and etiquette and anything about gay bars.
So I've been to a few gay clubs in the city. I mean, if they were mostly like male gay clubs, and they had like unisex bathrooms, which like 12 years ago was like a big thing. And they were just amazing. Everyone was so nice, the men, and like there was like a fashion show. They were just like so complimenting.
That's called the drag show.
I would love to go to a drag show. That would be cool too.
Had a few drinks.
Yes.
I don't even know.
We're going to go somewhere. We'll find a place.
There's got to be a place in New York where there's more women, but I never really looked into it, so I'll have to check.
I feel like, and I don't know, because I haven't been to a lesbian bar or like a gay bar, but I think a guy gay bar, I guess it's just a gay bar, is more fun than a lesbian bar, but I don't know.
That I don't know, because I was in one lesbian bar, and it was a gay bar, but it was a lesbian night, and it was in I forget the city. I was traveling with my fire company, and there were maybe eight of us staying in a hotel somewhere, and one guy, Eugene, wanted to go to a bar, and we didn't know that it was a gay bar at first until we walked up to it, and it had a pride flag up front. So that set the
As a clue.
bells off first. And then we walked in and it was filled with the women. And they're like, you can't come in here. And then when Eugene saw that it was filled with the lesbian women, he was like, oh my God, I want to come in. Because straight men have this thought
fantasy.
that lesbian women are going to be turned on to a man. No,
I think not.
No,
Absolutely not.
No, brother.
Yeah, but I all the times that I've been to straight bars, the most fun I have is like dancing with like the gay guy. I'll find the gay guy. So I feel like a whole club filled with gay guys would be like amazing. It would be so much fun.
No, I don't think, not the clubs I've been to.
Wow.
I think when I was younger and I would go to, there's a place called Kurt's in Philadelphia and it had a dance floor that was, that Saturday Night Fever dance floor with the lights on the floor.
Yes.
It had the whole floor had lights in it. And there were lights in the ceiling. And it was a really cool place that I would actually dance there because it was just the vibe. Everybody was on that dance floor. But the best place I think I've ever gone that wasn't even a gay club that was a neat place to dance was in Disney World.
Oh, that's random. Really?
Yeah. It was a place called Mannequins. But it's no longer there. No, they because the neat thing about that place, it was very electronic. There were things that would come out of the walls, out of the ceiling.
Was that part of that Disney for adults section?
Yes, it was. And it was a shame. Pleasure Island at one point.
Pleasure Island.
Right. And now it's called something else. And they took out all the stuff and replaced it with family-oriented things.
What came out of the walls? Like penises?
No, it was more like speakers and lights. It was like different sort of light type things to add to the whole room. It was really pretty cool.
Penises that you can like sit on.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up into it and take care of myself.
Holes, all kinds of things.
No, we just turn the stools upside down. Let's sit on those. Oh, we can all four of us could be on at once. No, it's not like that.
It's so funny because Darren is so serious looking, and I've only really seen him because we used to work together a lifetime ago almost. And it's like, he's always so serious and whatever, but he also is like a big pervert. It's like,
I am a big pervert, but I don't want to talk about all that on air. It's like, somebody would work if you're listening to this.
Oh, well. Well,
Jen, don't your people listen to this at work?
It's okay. I can hear me talk about Manuel using a vibrator. It's a thing.
Jen, so are we going to do research for the show next time? We're going to go to all the gay bars.
Yes. We have a couple
of weeks. I think you talk about your impression.
Yes. Darren, we'll run them by you to tell us if you've been to them and if they're good, and then we'll make a night of it, Sindy.
Chances are I haven't been to it because I haven't been out to gay bars in New York in years.
Wait, Darren, where are you out of?
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh.
Probably about 45 minutes south of Jen.
Oh. More like what town are you in? I forget.
Branchburg.
Branchburg, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So Jen and I are going to go ghost hunting in the next week or so.
What?
Yeah, so Sindy, I think, may know about this story because we're in the same town. So there is allegedly, and I believe it, a house that is kind of close to me that is going to be on the market soon that is haunted.
The one on Gregory?
Yes.
She knows about it.
Yes.
You on their face? It has a Facebook page.
No, it does not.
Oh, you got to share what it is.
I'll send you the link. There's all these stories. People post like their stories. Yeah.
Yes. So
wow, that we
didn't know. Like a slight fascination fetish, I don't know, for haunted houses, and he goes to haunted hotels and all this stuff. So when that house goes on the market, we want to go and just see it and go in it and see if we feel anything. Yes.
Oh my God. I just typed it into Google, haunted house, Gregory Avenue, West Orange. And it came up.
Oh.
215 Gregory Avenue. Should I be saying that on the radio?
Well, it's going to be on the market soon.
I don't know. because the owner's like a lawyer. Apparently, she sues people who talk about
Oh,
the house. She's like,
Oh no, but she gave it up. She like let the bank take the house.
oh,
So
good. Okay.
so it's like a interesting story. My connection with, I think the last owner, she bought some sofas that we were selling from us to put in like one of her Airbnbs, and I recognized her through the Facebook group we're in, and I started asking her about the house, and I was like, I'm just asking because I love haunted things, and I'm like really interested in paranormal. And we sat on the couches on our driveway. The sofas were out there, and talked about it. And she said some pretty like scary things that happened to her family, specifically to her son and her.
is that why she moved out? Or
Yeah, she moved out because she was afraid of what was going to happen to her son, but she didn't want to sell it because she didn't want anyone else to live in that house. But then she just let the bank take it because she was like,
wow.
yeah,
And you know someone else is going to be in there.
yeah. She didn't want anyone else there.
I'm there. Jen,
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go.
tell Darren about my black magic.
Oh,
Your what magic?
Black magic.
Oh my gosh, she's a witch.
I just watched a show last night about sex magic too, which I didn't know was a thing. But anyway,
I'm scared now.
You have to tell me where. But anyway.
Yes, we'll plan it. I have a realtor friend that can get us access once it goes on the market, and we can just have a day there if we want. So Sindy and I went to the city with a friend, and we were talking, and she was talking about kind of like a psychic connection that she has with her daughter, which we saw when we were kind of prepping for the show. And she called her daughter and asked her a question and was like, what color am I thinking of? Red, blue, green, yellow. And she guessed the right color. And then she asked another question. She answered it again correctly. And of course, we're all like, it's like a trick. You guys have some system. So I'm curious to learn more about this psychic ability that you two have.
How do these pop in your mind?
Well, after that first guess, I told them, think of anything at all that anything at all. So they picked an item, and then my daughter guessed it. So they're like, what? There's no way. There's something like in your voice, like you're telling her like some kind of like, there's some kind of signal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because I'm trying to teach my 6-year-old now. And she's like, Mommy, I told all my friends that you know magic. No, honey, don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Like, she does magic. She's a witch.
Do you twitch your nose and things happen?
No, but I believe in all of that stuff. I think we have a powers or whatever that we don't all tap into. So it's interesting.
Well, I told you the story of that medium I went to. She knew things that she just wouldn't have known. That was weird.
Yeah. I'm scared to go to a medium because of that reason. Because I don't want to,
You don't want to know?
Sometimes things that just, you be surprised. I don't know. It's scary.
So actually, I'll just like be honest. So black magic is definitely a game. There definitely is something that signals a person, but you could just never guess. It's just so like out there. My daughters were part of a track team for like 8 years, and they could never guess like what was like the signal. And, yeah, it's definitely not magic. I don't want anyone to think I'm like a crazy. Oh my God, I am a little bit. But they're, it's just really fun. And I have a game night group in town, Jen.
What?
Yeah.
You need to invite me to that immediately.
Before COVID, of course. We haven't been in person. We did a lot of Zoom game nights. And only one person out of like 6 families knows the trick. So he's like my fellow magician. But like, yeah, it's just, fun. I actually learned the game in church with my mom when I was
Oh,
little.
that's weird.
See, now I
place
want
to
to see.
learn that.
I want to see the daughter online and how this interacts and what. See if I can
Yeah.
figure out what this is. What's going on?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yes. Well, I know you have to go. And so what we're going to do, we're going to plan a gay night out and a haunted night out. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about what happened. It was great to have you on, Sindy, and we can't have you wait to have you back on again.
Thanks for coming.
Guys, nice meeting you, Darren.
Bye. Nice meeting you.
Bye. She's awesome, right?
She's a party girl.
Yeah.
Any girl
She's
that
great.
gets on a podcast and says, I wanted to go and F everything.
Well, you know
Wow.
what's awesome is she is the most open person that I know. There's no filter when
Right.
it comes to anything, which is a breath of fresh air, I feel, in today's kind of like PC world. It's nice.
You're a little bit like that, but you do your filter is in a comedic way, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. I'm talking about sucking dick all day long. But still, I can say this. Oh my God. All the sound effects. Is that
suddenly
how
I'm
you sound,
picturing
Darren? Oh, great. First your mom, now me. What's going on, Darren?
No, I don't picture my mom.
Hilarious.
Oh, now it's in my head. No.
Oh, man. Well, she sounds like if I went on a vacation with her, it would be much more fun than
Oh my gosh.
what had happened on
Your last one
Talk. Oh my
with your
God.
5 friends.
What is that? One friend and friends of friends, I would
Yeah.
say. How do you know the other ones?
Huh.
Yeah. So tell me, I hear you got a third shot. What is that
I
about?
did. So I talked on the show before. It was November 10th. I had my second shot for Pfizer because I was in the Pfizer study.
Yep.
Phase 3, it was part of the 10,000 that were, or 20,000, I think, that were added for to the original 30,000 group. And when I had the first shot, it was a blind study, so I didn't know if I was getting the real thing or a placebo, which was saline water. First shot, I just had a sore arm and I had some strange gut pains, but nothing after that. Second shot, 4 weeks later, I was fine. I had a little bit of a sore arm, but then about 11 hours after, I started to get vicious chills. No fever, just bad chills for about 5 hours.
Oh, you didn't get a fever. That I
Nope.
didn't realize that.
Many people got a
Interesting.
fever.
Yeah.
So then I was unblinded about 3 months after that, and I was told that I did in fact have the vaccine.
After
I got-
us joking a while about you just having
Right. It was all on my mind and all that.
Right.
Yeah, it's possible. So then I got a phone call about 3 weeks ago from the same clinic who said, listen, we are working with Pfizer to have
Listen,
another
human
study.
guinea pig.
Yes. Listen, guinea pig. We're having another study to see if a booster shot has any effect on people that have had the first 2 shots. And the booster shot in this study is not a different type of shot. It's the same as the first and second shot. So they
The
want to
first
see
and second shot exactly the same.
were
You
exactly
just
the
get
same.
2
Yep.
doses. Okay.
correct, and your body just reacts more to the second one.
Okay.
So the third shot is a booster shot, and it's what will most likely be available to the public. And they want to see out of the 10,000 people, out of 5, there's going to be 5,000 that had the placebo and 5,000 that had the real booster. And they want to see, are there more people that get possibly sick without having the third shot, or is there no difference? What's
Are
going to
they
happen?
asking you to do risky things to get
No,
sick?
somebody
Oh.
at work asked me the same thing, and they didn't ask me to do anything. They said, just live your life the way you want to live it, and just inform us if you have any kind of COVID symptoms, because I have to check in once a week. And then I get blood tests again in another, I don't remember if it was 6 months or a year, to check for my antibody levels. That's all
So
there is to it.
when did you get the shot?
So I got the shot, the third one, on what day was it? Today's Tuesday.
Today's the 20th.
I got it on, I think it was Monday.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
How do you feel today?
Today, well, when I got the shot, she stuck that needle in, and I felt a weird sensation. Like I've never felt with the shot before. Like she hit a nerve or something.
Ooh.
And
like it went traveled down your arm and
no, just in the generalized area where she put the shot in. And then I went throughout my day, and I had a little bit of a sore arm. So I thought it might have been saline water. Maybe she just hit a nerve. And then last night, about I don't know, it was like 12 midnight or so, which was hours after the first shot. It was at 8 a.m. I had the first shot, or the shot. And about 12 midnight or so, I felt under the weather. So was that in my mind, or was it a reaction to having the placebo, or to a reaction to having the third shot? So time will tell.
When do you find out?
They won't tell us until they decide that the third shot is really necessary. Because right now, many scientists think you don't really need the third shot. But
and I'm thinking the opposite. I'm feeling like if they're already investigating a booster, they're seeing trends that suggest we probably need it.
Yeah, and there was a study in I think it was Israel, where they're 6 months after the first shot, the participants in that study were down to like 68% or something of effectiveness.
Oh,
but who knows? That might have been just a group of people. Who knows exactly what's going to happen? So I think they just want to follow different people and how this might react for people.
Is it something right now that is an option for people, or it's not even publicly available? If I say I'm traveling to Spain in November, which is like 7 months after I got my second shot, and I wanted to get a booster, is that an option or not yet?
It's not an option yet in the United States, but I believe it is in other countries. So, the United States has to go through their FDA type approvals.
Right.
Part of the approval process. Because to see how people react and whatnot. So far, I'm not growing wings, and I'm fine.
What's really interesting and confusing is how a lot of the younger population is resisting the vaccine. They're kind of like waiting and watching us old farts to see what happens to us or something. I don't know what's going on.
I think a lot of it's political. I think a lot of people that follow Trump don't want to get the vaccine because they listen to that sort of whole camp.
Yeah.
And
there's that group, and then they're saying like the Delta variant is disproportionately affecting like 18 to 24-year-olds,
that's what they say. And strange. Then if you listen to the Trumpers, they don't want to hear all that. That's all fake news. So maybe it is. Who do you believe, Jen?
I believe science.
I believe the scientists too. So that's why it was part of the study, because that's what I think is going to be best to do. But to each his own.
There is no, of course, Pfizer and all these drug companies profit off of it.
Absolutely.
So they have an incentive for
to
people
have another
to
booster.
Get it. Yeah. I get that. But I don't think that for the most part, I can think of some examples like the talcum powder from Johnson & Johnson, where they know it's bad, but they don't do anything about it for too long.
And now they're trying to spin that company off, or that product off, to a new company so they can bankrupt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shouldn't the original company be responsible for that, even for in perpetuity, and not be able to spin it off and get rid of it? Come on.
Yeah.
That should not be legal.
It's insane. But anyway, I'm glad you got the booster, and hopefully you're protected for at least 6 months, if not longer.
More important news, Jen.
Yes.
Today was launch day. Or was that yesterday?
No, it was today. No, you know how site launches go. So we, as you guys know, we launched the gin. I think it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago at this point in the US. We haven't actually put it out for sale to the public. It's only available to distributors and things. And today the website was supposed to go live. We ran into some technical issues.
Oh my God, it's not live?
No.
Really? Is there a placeholder page?
No, it'll be live tomorrow. But
what's the how do people find it?
So it's either Oxygen, ACZU, gin, drinkgoodgin.com. And since that's a kind of a play on word and people may write actually oxygen, you can also go to drinkgoodgin.com and it'll take you to the same place.
And we talked about this before. Drink Good Gin is going to be much easier for people.
Yeah, because I was even going to buy the domain like oxygen, but that was like a $50 million domain.
I just typed in Drive Good Gin by mistake.
Great.
Drink Good Gin. Go
Drink
Daddy.
Good Gin. Yes. That's who owns
So that's
the
your
domain.
sort of placeholder page of nothing.
Yeah. So hopefully, and we're trying this new thing with the gin, where we build a platform to pass the orders to a retailer so that they can ship the gin to people. So now,
I thought you did that with the tequila.
So the tequila, we're using a third party middleman kind of thing that's doing the same thing.
Okay.
And after using it for almost a year now, because we're both in the tech field, I was like,
get rid of the middleman.
Yeah, we can build this. And he built the platform and the interface to be able to manage hundreds of brands that go through his site. We just need to build one that manages the two brands, which is relatively easy. So we'll do a pilot with oxygen. And then if it works, we'll roll it out to tequila.
What is this? Did you buy this software from somebody or what?
Yeah, the one we're using for the tequila?
For the oxygen.
No, I'm building it.
You're building it. What do you mean you're building it, Jen?
Software.
Jen, you're not a coder. What are you talking about? How are you doing this?
I have developers I work with.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, Jen, I'm impressed.
Yeah. So I was like,
what's it coded in?
What's that? Well, it's going to be, so the e-commerce is going to be Shopify.
Okay.
And then what we're trying to figure out is whether we want to pass the orders. This is like getting super technical, but like pass the orders from Shopify to something called Ship. I forget the name, but it's like a middle layer.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out is how are you actually going to get those orders to the supplier to the
right. So we have two options from Shopify. I could send the orders directly to a retailer to fulfill it, but if we have a falling out with the retailer, if they go out of business, we would need to rebuild that connection to a different retailer. So using this middle layer, they're able to pass it to one or more retailers, and we're able to keep the same infrastructure that we build.
I don't know how to pronounce this, but have you heard of Zapier?
Yeah.
Zapier?
Yes.
Are you using that for this?
No. I mean, I know that there's some automation that could be cool, but I haven't. I try to use Zapier to automate my own life, but it's very limited.
I think you need more than that software.
Can you just work for me in Zapier? It's like, but I was actually interested in Zapier because they're a 100% remote company. And then I was actually thinking of going to work there at one point. And then I was like, oh, but let me actually find out what this does. And it's a cool idea, but I haven't been able to actually do anything useful for me. So
I've looked at it for different DNR things, and I was kind of curious about it. And as I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, I don't feel like figuring out another technology.
Yeah, it was way too much effort for me because it was like, you can set up a Zap, I think they're called, to add any file you get in your inbox to your Dropbox. And that sounds cool in theory, but then it's like you have to manage that. And you don't necessarily want to save every attachment you get in an email. So how do you make the logic to decide that? And then I got tired. I was like,
oh my God, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of listening to you talk about it.
It's like, I can't do this. So no, I've heard of it, but no, we're not going to use Zapier. So,
oh, brother.
I am a fan of automation, and at some point, I would like to have some AI experience. This is like my next geek goal.
How about this thing that you were doing with Manuel for the tequila for like parties, virtual parties?
Yeah, our virtual tastings are actually there's so many we have to turn down some companies
Really?
because we're two people and we can't do tastings morning, noon, and
How many
night.
people would be in like one of these virtual tastings, like on the other side?
So we have a minimum, I think, of 8 or 10 required to even be able to do it. And we say around 20 is the max for the best experience, interactive experience. But if they want more of a presentation where people just come in and listen and watch and they can type questions in Zoom. Last week we had one with 70 people. So
Wow.
it can get
But
big.
how does it work? I mean, do they have to go out and buy it somewhere before the
So
event?
Usually they contact us from the website, and then I have a form that I send them, and then they need to fill out the form with all the people that they want to attend. And then we get their address and we send that form to one of our retailers, because depending on where the people live, different couriers will have to fulfill the order. And so they get the bottles delivered like a package to their door.
Are there like smaller bottles because it's just a tasting?
No, they're full-size bottles.
Oh, wow.
We're working on it's behind me now, actually. You can barely see it, like the little shorter bottles. Do you see them?
No.
Kind of behind
I
me.
see big bottles.
They're like shorter ones in front of it. We
Okay,
just
I
got
do
them
see
like
them.
yesterday. They're 375. So the goal by September, October is to have those three in what's called a VAP, a value add package. And
That would make
that's what we
sense.
send.
Yeah, because I mentioned to Jen today that there's a group of people from Derek and Remain who, when they had a show on at 7th, what time is it? 5 to 7 is their live show. They have a chat room that they have running, and there's usually about 30, sometimes 40 people in the chat room. It tends to be a lot of the regulars in the chat room, and they comment on the show as they're talking back and forth, and then they'll get together the same group of people, but smaller, usually about 30 or less, on Friday nights, because when people weren't able to go anywhere, that was one of the outlets for people that know Derek and Romaine, and they have something in common, that interest in that kind of catty attitude. So,
well, what's interesting about the companies that are reaching out to us is a few of them are doing it for their clients. So it's not really for their own company. It's for clients that they're trying to convince to stay on till the end of their presentation. So the presentations may not be super exciting, but if there's a promise of a tequila tasting at the end, maybe they'll stay through their presentation to then do the tequila tasting. So that's like, let's say 40% of the motivation of the companies that are doing the tastings. And then the rest are team building. And then there are a few companies now, which is kind of cool, that are reaching out to do in-person tastings to welcome people back into the office, which would be cool. But that would be weird. We haven't done in-person yet because we're trying to figure out how that would work, because in that situation, each person wouldn't get 3 bottles. That would be
right.
A lot.
And the situation with DNR is that usually there's like 1 or 2 people that are in the same location at their house. Mm-hmm. And then the 30 people in the room, there might be 15 of them are all in different locations. So it's completely social in nature.
Yes.
Somebody decides a week in advance that they're going to do a wine tasting night. So they'll say, okay, go to your store and get these 3 bottles of wine or small bottles of wine, and then be ready to pour at our next event. We're going to tell you what to do. We're going to tell you what you should be smelling or sipping, how it's done, what you might want to add to it. That's what they do with DNR. So there's no they go out to the store themselves to get the bottles. And when I heard that Jen was doing this virtual tasting, I thought, gee, something like that might work for the DNR group, but they have to go out and get the bottles today. I don't know how you would work it with with groups like that.
No, the bottles would get delivered to them. That's no problem. But what they would need if they're doing the cocktail option, is we would send them a ingredient list. So if we usually make one cocktail with each of the bottles so that they know and understand how to make a drink with that particular variant. So they would be responsible for going to the store and getting simple things like lemons and agave nectar or grapefruit, something like that.
So their budget for the wine tasting is maybe $40.
Oh, they can't afford
50?
us then.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. So ours for the trio is like $185.
Yeah, then they wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's too expensive for them.
Yeah.
That's why I asked about small bottles like taster bottles. That's something that they would probably do if you had them, like the little bottles and you have in the store. But I know getting to that level is probably down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually we focus on the companies. There have been a lot of individuals that want us to come and do tastings for parties and things like that. We'll do it for friends, but for strangers, it doesn't make sense financially.
Yeah.
Let's just say that for them to do that.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, yeah. I'll do it for you, Darren, if you want a tasting for one of your parties.
I want to be invited to one of these that you do in the future.
Okay.
If you do something like some kind of event, let me know.
Usually they're like company, so you would be crashing somebody else's tasting.
Well, in that case, never mind. I don't want to hear somebody else's company.
We have had people ask, can we join a tasting? We won't get a bottle or anything. We just want to see how it works so we can plan for our company.
I wish you could do it at like a New York bar somewhere. You've never done that because it's just not financially viable.
That's what we used to do, but it's more in those cases. Normally what happens is, let's say we're in a Mexican restaurant. The restaurant sells tickets for a dinner, and let's say it's $60 a head, and it includes a tequila tasting.
That would be fun. Yeah. That's the type of thing.
We do that all the time.
Or you used to. I guess you don't do it anymore because of COVID.
Yeah, not much. I'm sure it'll start coming back, but that was the way we did tastings before. Like we would have a room, people that bought the ticket come, they have the food.
And would that way make any financial sense for you anymore? Or have you?
Yeah, of course, because the restaurant buys the bottles for the event. Yeah, so that works fine.
So that's the event I want to be invited to. If you do one of those events again, let me know.
Yeah,
I'll bring Pat and maybe a couple other people.
Yeah. Would you go to Connecticut? We do a lot of them there.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Why Connecticut?
We're on fire in Connecticut.
Really?
It's crazy.
What is it about Connecticut? What is going on in Connecticut?
We have a good distributor in Connecticut, and we self-distribute in New York and New Jersey. So they have a team of, I don't know, I'm making this up, like 20 sales reps that work for the distributor. And so we have so many bars and restaurants and liquor stores that in the Greenwich, New Canaan, Darien part of Connecticut that you can find Aldous.
How long does it take to get to Connecticut?
Without traffic, hour and 5 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. So if like I found a bed and breakfast where you were doing one of these, that'd be like a Friday night out.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you do these on Fridays or not?
Yeah, Fridays, Saturdays, yeah.
So let me know next time.
I will.
I'll drag Pat out to Connecticut.
A heads up too, yeah.
You'll give me some head. Is that what it is? Oh, sorry, I'm gonna take it back to Sindy again. Sorry, Sindy, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not.
No. I bet she was like, "What? Who's this guy?"
Oh my God! Did she even know I was gay?
I don't
Did you
know
tell
if I
her?
mentioned that. Maybe I did.
You failed to mention that part.
I feel like it's relevant, but it does kind of like
it puts you in the right context in certain things that we were talking about.
That's true. That's true. But no, I don't remember. I don't usually say like, "Hey, come talk to Darren. He's gay."
Oh boy! And
you're like, "Come talk to Jen. She's straight." It's like, any plans for this week? I hear the weather's going to get.
Oh, the house I want to tell you about.
Oh,
Pat and I, we've been back and forth to Pennsylvania to the Ephrata area, and we found a house.
What area?
Ephrata.
Ephrata.
Yeah, how do you spell that?
Ephrata.
It's spelled Ephrata, Ephrata, Pennsylvania, and it's north of Lancaster. and that's where a lot of my family lives. So we were looking for a house in that area because we liked the little city. It's like an older downtown city. And we found a house that was a newer house that was along the path because they have a walking bike trail across the entire city joining to another city.
Oh, that's cool.
And most of it's flat. It's really a nice thing. It's popular. And this house was the corner of the house, backyard was practically on that trail. So we could sit on the deck outside and watch people go by and shit like that. Pat and I would be,
like, look at that sucker.
instead of walking, we could watch.
Watch people walking. Great.
And the house is really nice. It was not real big, and it was well maintained. So it was advertised for $299,000.
Oh,
299,000, and
that's
that
like
was
a
overpriced.
steal.
Well,
No.
not really. It was a small
Oh.
house.
Okay.
So the realtor said a year ago this would have probably gone for $289,000 as a good
Oh
price.
yes, I remember this house. Did it
Right.
did they sell it for a crazy price?
I don't think I told you about this house because we haven't talked for a couple of weeks. But this house we bid up to 320, and then we're like,
Whoa.
that's our max, and it sold for 335,000. So
Wow.
we were just short of the win, but
I mean,
it's-
if you can hold
it wasn't
on,
worth that.
if you can hold on, I'm guessing like early next year, I think
Yeah, we got
the
time.
market's going to crash.
So we'll take time.
just wait. And then
Speaking
you
of
can
time, Jen,
we at
we're out of time. That's it, Jen. We'll talk next time.
Awesome. Till next time. Bye guys.
Bye.